Happy New Year everyone. So with a new year comes a new feature. Just want to quickly show you in my pseudocode something I've added, because I've noticed people intuitively think that this feature is going to exist and they go to use it and it's not there. So if I open up the scratch code window here, the feature I'm talking about is being able to manually input data. So if I put my begin tag there, I might have some value, so let's say it's an age. So I'll say set age to some number. We'll make it 17. So we could have a branch statement here that says if age is less than 18, for instance, we'll output, I don't know, you can't yet, well, instead of drink, let's say vote. I always go for the alcohol. You can't vote legally, or at all. Maybe we just say you can't vote. Else we'll say you are required to vote here in Australia. We'll end the if and we'll end the whole tag. So we could run something like this. Oh, we've got a syntax error because we forgot to put in the then. So we could run something like that, and it says you can't vote, you can't get vote. Okay, that should be yet. Alright, so if I just run it like that, it's static code, it's preset, so it says you can't yet vote. If I change that to 22 and run it, it says you're required to vote. So the program works, but what people I guess are assuming is that you can do an input. So I could say input age. And up until now that hasn't actually worked. I didn't make a way of being able to input in the scratch window. That has now changed as of 2023. So if I click run, you can see this little pop-up window comes up. Now it says provide a value for age. So I'll put a value in there and I'll say 16. Because the person will then be 16, hopefully it will say you can't yet vote. So I'll click OK and it says you can't yet vote. I'll run it again, put a higher value in there, 22, and it should say you are required to vote. You are required to vote. So it's interactive now. The thing is though, I can't do an output, show it on the screen, then do an input, and then show an output. All the inputs have to be done before the program runs. Now I looked at this and I thought, well, I can fix that. I can go ahead and make it fully interactive, but this fits everything that we really need for learning pseudocode. That would be a nice to have, but not an essential, and this is really quite far behind now. I would have liked to have released it last year, and I'm really dead set on making a release for everyone to start using during term 1. So I'm not going to give in to the feature creep. I'm just going to call it a day and make it work like that. So when we run it, it'll ask for anywhere you've put input, it'll ask for that up front, and then it will show you all the outputs. So the program is running in order. So if I did something that required an input here after that output, and then maybe had another condition, it would run in order, but you wouldn't see any of the output. Okay, as I said, maybe that's something I'll do down the track, but at the moment we can do this. Now that's an age. If I wanted to do a different program, let's say something really simple, I'll just put input a name, and I'll simply just output hello plus that name. So when I run it this time, because it's a string, I need to actually put the name in quotes. Okay, so you got to put it in the data type it is. So if it's an integer or a float, you just type it in. If it's a string, then you put quotes around it. And as you can see, it said hello Stephen. I could also do a list, so a name list, and then what I'll do here, instead of just doing an output, I'll say for each name in the name list, I will output the name. Close off the for loop. So if you run that now, it's expecting a list, so I should give it the brackets, and I'll say Harry Sally, and Mary. So there's 3 names within that list. I'll just widen that out a little bit so you can see the whole list. Let's go ahead and add Gary as well. Okay, so we've got Harry, Sally, Mary, and Gary. So if I click OK, you can see it's output Harry, Sally, Mary, and Gary with our for each loop. So you can input numbers, floats, you can input strings, you can even input lists of things, and that works just fine. So I figured that was a feature everyone wants. So now we're in the home run. I think my pseudocode tutor, has all the features we want. I've just got to add some problems and make a release this term. But new year, new feature, very excited about that. Hope you all like it.